Peace. Peace, and welcome to another episode of Randumb Thoughtz. I'm your host, the LYR to the ICS's Lyric Shaw. Yeah, we are here for another fantastic Sunday of fuckery and fun. Ha! You already know. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Yes, all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. It's our day. It's my day, your day, every Father's Day. Let's get it. Crew, what's popping? Team Randos.
You're still on vacation.
Of course. Of course.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank
Lyrics.
you.
Happy Father's Day to our producer, Logic. I know y'all are the wonderful fathers that I know that are in my life. I appreciate y'all.
That knows a lot about their, sons and all of their offspring, their bands and everything.
Yep.
The WC Bryant Concert Jazz Band.
What, the WC?
Taisha, what's going on?
The
Every time
WC concert band?
No, WC Bryant concert, man. The WC Bryant High School concert band. Yo, you're a smart ass, man. Yo, what's going on, Tiffany? Thank you.
What's up, Tiff? We miss you.
Get quizzed.
You're funny. Yo, Steph, what's popping? What's going on?
Hey, everyone. Y'all know who it is. It's Steph, y'all. Stephanie Gale here. Juneteenth is tomorrow. I'm sporting my Martin Luther King, one of my favorite sweatshirts.
And ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Family members.
No, not a family member. That would be WC Handy. That's what they should have named the band, the WC Handy.
And Malcolm X too.
Shout out to my uncle.
Uncle X.
Uncle Malcolm.
Oh yeah, that's for him.
Yo, we ain't shit. Like, yo, I'm telling you,
No.
Oh man, you are
grave.
Hey, yo, Ad, what's popping, baby?
What's good, y'all? ADB in the spot, Abyss, and we're here with another episode of Randumb Thoughtz Talk Series. Shouts out to all the randos, all platforms, either Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I'm just cooling, man. Really just relaxing, but much love to all the fathers out there. Even though it's just this day, it's every day that y'all fathers, so we appreciate y'all.
Facts. Ramos.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Busy, tired. Usual.
Corbin Dallas.
Okay.
Or either that, or you said last time you said you got mad when I said the spook at the door.
That was the spook at the door had a lot of loaded things in there.
Had a lot of loaded things, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! All right,
Yeah.
all these innuendos. All right, I feel all right.
Oh, I got this from. I recently went to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. My
That's
first
dope.
time. Yeah, I went with my eldest nephew. Shout out to Treston. And I barely scratched the surface, but it was really, what I did see was really awesome. And the food, it looked regular as I don't know what, but that food was fantastic. Like, oh my God.
What you have?
Oh my goodness. Like I said, I had basic stuff. I had fried chicken. I had what did I have? Sweet potatoes. I had mac and cheese. I had collard greens, and then for dessert, I had
beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Yep.
What you have for the?
Yeah.
What you have for dessert?
No, it was not vegan. It wasn't vegan.
What? This was at the museum stuff?
Maybe the sweet potato and the collard greens, but
you said this was at the cafeteria at the museum?
Yeah.
But wait, what did you have for dessert again?
Pecan pie.
Oh my God!
Did you bring your own?
It was banging, huh?
Did you bring your own?
No.
I thought you
No,
brought
we
your
ain't.
own to share.
Mm-mm.
Maryland, like, oh my God.
No.
Why do I almost call you Maryland?
Made in Maryland.
But yeah,
Yo.
Juneteenth is tomorrow. I got my pen. I'm gonna be walking around with this thing.
You would
Having
be
my
eating
fun.
Pockies, bro.
Oh yeah. This
He would
episode of Random Thoughts is not brought to you in part by Pocky. Shout out to
Oh,
Pocky, man, in Japan and all that. Yo, like they make some good snacks.
Was it Oreo flavor?
Yeah.
I had the strawberry
Talk about the
ones
white box.
earlier.
Thank you, Pat Master. Appreciate you, B.
What's up, Pap? No, I wasn't. I wasn't. It really was not.
She said Stephanie, you was eat like an elephant at the museum.
First of all, Taisha is the last one to talk. Like every time we go to a buffet, a Chinese buffet, this girl has 7 plates. 7.
It's a buffet.
Get your
7.
money's worth.
Like, no, you gotta go there, get your money first.
I can't eat 7 plates.
You sure?
I don't care. I don't care if it's for my money's worth. My stomach cannot take 7 plates.
She probably went
Yeah,
empty
that's a
stomach.
fact.
You didn't. You went with a full stomach. You gotta prep.
I did prep. I still
Empty
wouldn't be
stomach, water.
crazy. So yeah, she's the last one to talk about eating like an elephant.
All right.
Go on, Pat.
What's up, Pam?
Yo, do we got any house cleaning?
Let's see. Do we have any birthdays coming up? Birthday to Ja actually knows her. They went to school together. Happy birthday to Monique.
RJC.
Shout out to her.
RGC.
No,
RJC.
you might have known her too, Eric. She worked.
Me?
She used to work for TSA. Yeah.
What's her name?
Monique.
Monique sounds familiar, but I know a few Moniques.
Yeah, you
Monique. Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for mine. What about y'all?
Well, I gotta say, happy heavenly birthday to a very important person within the hip hop community, production wise, and he's one of my closest friends. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee's finest. My brother Fathom 9, aka Avenging Wind. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday would have been his born day. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta say is, man, with that, you know, yeah, I still miss you, dog. You was one of the illest producers, one of the illest beat makers, one of the illest people ever. You know what I'm saying? And I wish people like you would have really shined more. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, no diss to him. You know what I'm saying? One of the illest poets. You know what I'm saying? And performers. You know what I'm saying? I remember he was in New York. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go to the show itself, but I saw the coverage, man, and we met up and stuff. You know, rest in peace. Once again, to Fathom 9, man. Like, I never forget you, brother. Never ever forget you, man. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to NC, shout out to Smurf. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was also super close with Fathom. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fathom's family in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely, man. Rest in peace to you, Fathom. Like, yo, like you like honestly, Fathom's one of the reasons why I continue to do what I do. And even for the like the dedication to producers and beat makers, you know what I'm saying? Which we're definitely gonna do a second one. We have got to do a second one, man. There's a lot more producers out there, a lot more beat makers in the world out there, man. Shout out to Arsonist, man, too, from beat makers. Sorry, heat makers. Arsonist from heat makers. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? It's not his birthday. I just want to give him a shout out. Yo, thanks, Pat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? To whoever else's birthday, I know my homegirl Shawnee, it was her birthday. I think it was yesterday, a couple of days ago. My cousin Mustafa, it's his birthday today. You know what I'm saying? Happy born day, Mustafa. You know what I'm saying? I almost forgot today was your birthday. You know, I'm fucked up. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Like, my bad.
You're the only one telling on yourself.
I don't give a fuck. Like, you know me.
Oh my God.
I say telling myself, but Guess what time it is, y'all?
What time is it?
What happened?
It's time to let the fuckery commence. Let's get it.
Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. All commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, teaching, and or scholarship of copyrighted material is protected by the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. iRant Network and the founder of the Ranters Union, Jalogic, aka Mr. M, recommends that you take what is said and do your own research. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Furthermore, listen carefully to the ranters rant and debate their opinions and form your own conclusion. Thank you for watching this member-supported program, powered by the Ranters Union and produced for the iRant Network. Good day.
All right.
All right, there we go. There we
Shout
go.
out randos, all the randos out there. We love y'all.
Hashtag Team Rando Love. You already know what it is. Well, hashtag Team Randos, but it's Team Rando Love. You already know how that go, man. Yeah.
Hashtags. That's what's gonna happen. We
Yeah,
take
shout out
say?
to the Ranters Union as well.
yes.
We can't
shout out
hashtag shit no more. What you saying?
No, I'm saying we're taking all the rando hashtags. We're taking them all.
All of them shits.
We're taking them over.
At
Either
random.
All that.
Yep. So, but yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. Today's episode is episode 4-23 as we close the chapter on the 5 love languages here with 5 love languages, part 5, quality time. Y'all know about it. Substantial did a song about it. Shout out to Substantial. You know what I'm saying? Quality time. And who the fuck is this?
Let me see. What's going?
All right. Me too. Me too. So, with that being said, there's some fuckery right there. So, yeah. Should we begin with a roundtable question? Cool. Let's do that. Because I don't know where the fuck to begin. That just is like, okay. Taisha said that's my love language, quality time and physical touch. Those 2 are my primary. That's what I'm saying, man. They my primary also, along with words of affirmation.
I have 2 primaries.
Is it?
Hers is physical touch. I know it's number 1, but quality time is actually my number 1. So,
that's what's up.
Yeah. That's me all day. What is happening?
Is this a commercial for a laundromat or something? What's going on here?
Nah,
Fuck.
nah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
they're trying to tell Larry something. It's like she might
Logic
not have enough
explains.
money to pay for her laundry.
No, but
She's gonna need some support.
Okay.
Mhm.
What
Yeah, she's
support?
someone's gonna need some support.
You know, for a month, might need a subscription support. You know,
Wow.
That's a terrible
It was
OnlyFans
It was
video.
only for a month. Like it was only for 1 month.
Why would anybody pay
Damn.
to watch somebody do the laundry? That's terrible. That's what you go stream for.
Wow. Really?
Mhm.
Really, John? Okay, man.
You gonna tip her?
Tip of shit. Fuck you talking about?
Maybe
Nah,
she
but-
take requests on whites or colors.
Yeah, I can't stand y'all, man. For real, son. Or the mother. Oh man. But yo, let's get into Let's get into the roundtable question, man. Like, goddamn.
Oh, my God.
Steph, let's start with you, man. What does quality time mean to you personally?
For me, quality time is it's just basically spending time with people. Like I'm not like when it comes to when people say high maintenance, low maintenance, what have you. I'm fairly low maintenance. Like for
Okay.
me, I'm a simple person. Let's spend time together. I'm perfectly fine with just being around you, having conversations, and just expounding on this beautiful, crazy, insane world and how it works, and it's human psychology, things of that. Like I like digging deep into subjects. So that's me. Like I'm like I said, I'm a simple person. We can chill, have a drink or two, or just lounge around and just as long as I'm enjoying your company, and spending that time with you, like that's what my focus is going to be on. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
That's
So
what's up.
that's for me.
Cool.
Shoot, we can sit silently and just I don't know, sit in the chair. You could work on your stuff. I can work on my stuff, or shoot, we could fall asleep and wake up. And whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, what we know what that whatever means. We know what that whatever means. What, nigga? I can't say whatever. Yeah, you know what, man? Yo, fuck you, Ad, man. You trying to be messing with motherfuckers, man. Like, yo, you still my nigga though, man. But fuck you, man. Like, yo, so like, what?
No, you just said whatever. So I'm like, all right, I see where you're going with that.
He put emphasis on whatever.
I know, that's why.
You know I'm gonna say it eventually, right? But I'm gonna save it for later. Anyway, Eric, I asked you the same question, man.
Yeah, I believe quality time is probably like 4 for me, or 3. Yeah.
Okay,
lower. It's lower, but it's not the last.
No, I was gonna ask you personally, what does quality time mean for you?
Oh, quality time's like chilling, exactly. But just being around, a lot of times most people are like, what do you mean by some people have the idea of quality time being like doing events and excursions and shit like that? That's what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about general to you,
I know.
Eric.
That's why I'm asking where you're going with that. Yeah, but in general, like, it depends. Because the thing is, when you're talking about love language, you're talking about the other person. So it depends really what on the other person wants that you're with, right? So for me, it's chilling. But that person might be, I want to do something. I want to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so it really depends on what the other person's about. So, yeah. But for me, it's just chilling.
Okay, cool. Taisha said, we know Stephanie's whatever, her quality time will end up being someone else. Wow. Okay.
But yeah,
that's not always true. That's not always true.
See, you said not always.
Now, if we're talking about
keyword.
See, she's just lucky she's not on the screen right now, because if we were talking about you, you, yes. Nah, I got you, Ty. No, it doesn't always end with that kind of whatever. So,
wow.
Why is it so quiet?
Adviz, Adviz, I asked you the same question, and I'm speaking from a general terms right here. What does quality time mean to you?
For sure. It's because Steph, they're thinking of www.onlysteph.com. That's why they think it. But for myself, honestly, I agree with Steph and Eric. Doesn't even necessarily always have to be going to events, but yeah, even just sometimes just chilling, having a really thoughtful conversation. Sometimes walking, playing basketball. Really, it really doesn't matter as long as I'm there with a person, or it can even be a group of people. It's just we just there vibing, no matter what. We even be in a different room and we in the same house, but like we still being able to spend some time together.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Definitely what's up. To answer my own question, quality time, it means you know, appreciating something that you can't get back, which is time. You know, when somebody, people can say they love you a million different times. They can say they love you from here to the moon and back again. But being around somebody shows that it actually shows the actions behind those words. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't be there for that person, then unfortunately, either they have one or two choices. They will have to understand that, or they have to take it however they take it. You know what I'm saying? Just to be realistic, you know. But as far as that's concerned, you have to understand when it comes to from a relationship perspective, if you're with somebody, and preferably I see this more in women than men, even now, you know what I'm saying? Even though we live in a different age and women have more rights and stuff of that magnitude, it still doesn't take away from the fact that you have women who do want your quality time. You know what I'm saying? And this goes to even cheating in this perspective. You know what I'm saying? I hate seeing it from the bad side of it too, but even cheating. Quality time plays a big part in cheating. Why do you ask? Because some of most women, they'll say the reason why they cheated on a guy is because you didn't spend enough time with me. Mm-hmm. I've heard it before. I've been victim to it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, quality time is definitely important. Quality time is important to save a relationship or even a marriage. You got to understand, especially a marriage, when you put that ring on, you say, I do. Guess what? You are in a committed, marriage where you have to give up that quality time. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. You know what I'm saying? I understand you might work a 40 or 60 hour week and all that other shit, but like you just can't sit there and say, well, you know, I'm providing, protecting, and professing my love through providing and protecting, and thinking that's just going to be what it is. You know,
well, the other thing about protection is you have to be present. Can't protect anyone if you're not there.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? So, there it is. You know,
protect from a physical and a financial standpoint.
Speaking of not being there,
I'm here. I'm just
Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair.
Something popped up my computer. I was trying to get rid of it.
We're going to gloss over the fact that Avid's example of quality time is playing basketball. Oh, shit. Wow. I didn't even think about it like that. I didn't even think about it like that.
Oh, I know. I know exactly. That's what.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about
oh, my God.
Oh shit. Oh, yo, wow. Wow.
Dad, do you play D or do they play D? Usually.
I'm done.
Oh,
I got no more to say.
Oh my God.
You will. Yo, trust me, you will.
I got no more to say on that. I plead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Oh, yeah, you stupid. I ain't fucking with you. Bomba clad. Oh my God. Like, yo.
Dang, that mic got destroyed on that plane.
Right.
It went flying right there.
Oh, just man. No, but go ahead.
Nah, do your thing.
Yeah, I just want to say, and also quality time is something very important for when for when people get older. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, especially spending your time. Peace, what's going on, Shinobi? Even spending your time with your parents and, you know what I'm saying, like your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because I could also speak from this perspective, man. When they're not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mother always used to say when I was a kid, my mother always used to say, she was like, yo, one day, yeah, I swear you're gonna miss the hell out of me. I was like, what you talking about, Mom? Like, yo, you know I ain't gonna be here forever, right? One day you're gonna miss these arguments, you're gonna miss me being around, and you're gonna turn around and be like, damn, where's my mom? Oh, I wish my mom was here. And and I used to look at her like, man, you crazy, you gonna be here forever. You know what I'm saying? Like as kids, we have this like perception that we grow up with this perception that our parents are immortal and they're gonna be here for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, that's not the case. In some of the most cases, we used to outlive our parents. You know what I'm saying? Or that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you got parents outliving their kids. You know what I'm saying? And add, you know what I'm talking about on that one, man. Like with these little dumb niggas, man, making bad decisions and trying to be all hood and everything, and you know what I'm saying, try to shoot up some shit.
Yeah, part of it is a issue with pride. We've redirected pride in the wrong sense, as well as just the advancement of society is done too much. That some of these kids can't keep up, and some of them feel lost and left behind. That whole idea of FOMO, the fear of missing out, is definitely real. A lot of kids and students. So if some of them don't feel like, oh, I haven't went and done like something crazy, or these people aren't gonna like me unless I do these things and pressure them, it just really gets to their mind even more now. Because then it's almost like where else can you go to kind of get away from this stuff to just like relax and really think? No, I'll be on my phone almost all hours of the day. I'm at school and they're doing a whole different issue. I go to the grocery with my parents and like there's still people, and I feel like people are watching and doing this. So it gets very difficult.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But like even for that, like, I remember listening. I think I mentioned this before, but I was listening to one of Skyzoo's joints called Long Money. It doesn't have it in the song itself, but it does have it in the video. If you watch the video of Long Money by Skyzoo, I guess it was at his actual mother or somebody playing as his mother's voice on the narration after the song, and the person was saying, they was like, "Yo, you can control what's in your house, but you can't control outside." And that had me thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get in a deep thought about shit. How much time do we spend with our parents versus spending time with your friends in the outside world? When you grow up as a child, when you first go into the school system, wherever you live, however your school system is function, you got to take into accountability that we spent more time with those kids, making friends with those kids, or getting to know those teachers, the staff, more than we spend our time with our own parents.
Mm-hmm.
The weekends don't even count. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might see mom and dad when they pick us up, or like after school program. Because remember, we had the after school programs back in the day. So we wouldn't, like, let's say I had to go to school around about, say, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So from that time, from 7:30 to 2:30, like 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., or 8 a.m. to like 2:33 p.m., that's the school's time. Then from that after school, say like 3 or 3:30 to 6. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, your parents either pick you up or you go to school, get dropped back home. Then you see your parents from like, say, 6 all the way to like 8 or 9. Because I remember I used to go to bed like 9, 10 at the latest. You know what I'm saying?
So
you have to. No, I get my ass whooped about it. Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. Yo, Mr. Jones 169. Yo, salute to everyone in the panel and chat. And happy Father's Day. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Appreciate you. Now, like, sir, for real, you know what I'm saying? You break down that time with your parents from the time you see them in the morning to the time that you see them at night, and that's Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. The only time you really get to spend full time with your parents is on the weekend. And like I said, that weekend time with that little time you see in the weekday still doesn't, that fails in comparison to the times you see the teachers. You get to get the teachers get to know you more than your own damn parents in some occasions.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, you get to know your kid through time and all that other stuff because when they go to junior high school, then high school, the time lessons, maybe they'll come straight home after school. Or you gotta remember, there was football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, whatever school sports you guys played. Then you get to meet more friends. Then you get to meet more people.
I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. You said
I don't understand what's going on in this video.
You said the key
At this
word.
point.
So I knew it was gonna happen.
Is this supposed to make them each other feel uncomfortable or something? What's going on?
Yeah, word. That I'm looking at this shit and it's like, I'm thinking the same damn thing. Yeah, that was a nice shot. But I'm just saying.
Take me to the wall now. What is happening?
Wow.
What is happening? What is happening?
I don't know. I'm lost at this shit. Like, yo, but for
right. I don't know how you be finding these videos like that, but what in the okay.
Yo, shout out to Mr. M, man. Like, yo, he's anyway, listen. Well, what I'm trying to say here with all this is, you know, be very mindful of the time that you spend with your parents.
Oh man.
Be mindful of the time you spend with your parents because you can't get that back. You know what I'm saying? Mr. RJC78 said it's like when you get married and have kids and have a job, you spend more time with the coworkers than family. And I know that too. I know that from experience from both sides. Of course, from both sides as a kid and as a worker. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you get to know people more outside than your immediate family. Whether you're a kid getting to know your parents or, you know, your parent trying to get to know your child, you know, your wife and kids or your husband and kids or however that works. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is the reason why marriages are starting to fail at an all-time high, especially in the United States of America. Well, let me just talk about the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? And just in general, the U.S. That's why marriages are partially why marriages are failing.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot to do with that.
No, but quality time has a big part to play in it because you got to be around for it. You got to be around to get to know your partner.
True.
Yeah, I will make an argument and say that quality time is probably one of the most important love languages of the 5.
It is.
Because you cannot really enact the other ones without quality time being.
See it. For gifts, somebody got to be there to buy you the gift, unless they buy that shit online. You know what I'm saying? And they still got to be there.
To go online to get
and they can send it to you online too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it takes time. It takes quality time for them to talk to you in order to figure out what they should get you. They have to get to know the type of person you are to know what type of gift to give you, even if they're trying to surprise you. Because let's just say, for instance, you know what I'm saying? I have a girlfriend, she's allergic to fish, but I'll fuck around and get her some sushi as a surprise lunch or some shit like that. That's stupid of me because maybe I should have known that she was allergic to fish. But how can I know she's allergic to fish?
Or twerk for some Jordans.
How the fuck am I a terrible partner?
You're a terrible partner for that because you're gonna kill her. Especially if it's
unintentionally. I'm siding on the lyrics side. Unintentionally, he's gonna kill her, but he didn't mean to kill her. I mean, she's dead. She's dead. Either way,
those are things that you need to pay attention to. If you are a partner that misses that, you
oops.
You got allergies? Oh,
are you gonna say that? You'll be at the altar like, oops.
My bad. You're gonna get my bad.
Is that what you're gonna tell the doctor?
Was the greatest gift is a portion of thyself. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I mean, yeah. See, you're right. In that gift, you have to have quality time in order to cherish that gift. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to give thyself, you have some quality. You have to have quality time to give thyself to that person. But shout out to Alekim. If I fucked your name up, my fault, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on here with us. You know what I'm saying? And just
in the building
so we can get it right.
Mr. Jones said, but that's a fact. The teachers that cares about the students pay more attention to them than just teaching. No, that's a fact, man. They become a part of that kid's lives. You know what I'm saying? I still remember a couple of teachers. Well, there's one too that I wanted to slap the shit out of, man, because they hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like in the '80s, it was different. You could actually beat the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
I still don't know what public
certain
school you went to. Still don't know what public school
I
you
went
went
to
to.
PS. I went to PS 107 in
Private
like
school is different.
in
I remember
one
getting
part
hit
of
in
the
private
Bronx.
school.
No,
Yeah,
private school, they beat your ass in private school
private
too.
school.
What you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying. When I went to private school and private school when I was in the '80s, I got hit. We got hit. But public school, I never. When I transferred to public school, I never seen anybody get hit.
Well, you ain't been to the Bronx public school. Bronx public school, they didn't give a fuck.
Maybe they forgot.
Like,
They didn't get the note. You know, no more hitting kids. Maybe it
well,
was
no,
late.
no.
Right? The mail, lost the mail, or something.
No, after a time, they stopped that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like after maybe like 1 or 2 years, you know what I'm saying? They had to stop that shit because kids was going home with marks and shit on their face.
Shit,
like,
they weren't playing. They were beating these kids. They were like
some teachers.
No, they were slapping the shit out of these kids. What happened?
I said I'm sure some teachers got duffed out by a parent or jumped by a
duffed
parent.
them out.
Yeah, I definitely.
Or got dragged by a parent. Like, yo, what?
I'd be like, yo, where's my baseball bat?
I would administer some punishment to that teacher.
All right, Crickland.
Twofold.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. RJC 78. He said to establish a healthy relationship and have quality time boundaries need to be set and respected. Most people don't realize that they want control and not quality time. That's that's the random thoughts comment of the week right there, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That one right there, that took the cake right there. Thank you, Mr. RJC78. Let me read this again so some of y'all motherfuckers gonna understand this shit. To establish a healthy relationship and have quality time boundaries need to be set and respected. Most people don't realize that they want to control and not quality time. That they want control and not quality time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's powerful to me.
Well, that's their form of quality time. The fact that they can control you.
That's pretty.
I know it's terrible. It's not quality time to the person that's being controlled.
That's a puppet master right there.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Man. That's definitely a fact.
Yeah, nah. Quality time is definitely important. You can't, like you said, you cannot establish good relationships with people without it. Like you won't get to know the idiosyncrasies and nuances of a person without spending time with them. Like you can't learn their habits, you can't understand, who they are without that quality time. And that's why I say personally that's the most important one. Not because it's my number one, because it is, but you really can't delve into the other love languages without it.
And it goes even to parenting. There's fucked up cases where mothers nor fathers know their kids. They've been living with their kids ever since the day they was born and really don't know their kids. The thing is, this is something else I've experienced. The thing is, people evolve either through through their environment, people being examples to them within their environment, or people being examples to them outside of their environment. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I moved to Mount Vernon. Shout out to Mount Vernon. The block that I lived on, my dad, he was really convinced that block was like a clean, nice, healthy block with nice people and shit. And I'm like, the block was cool. It was that. But the people in there, not all of them were cool. Like most of the motherfuckers, they was street dudes. You know what I'm saying? They was hood dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you have to really like know where you are and like know the people that you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
we can sit there and assume. Go ahead.
No. As you were doing that, I was just thinking, because since we're talking about quality time, and I know specifically it sounds like we're keeping it more so to just like one person and not necessarily a group. But you've been talking about parents and you've been talking about teachers. How would that work for? Especially, I know that's one of the teachers' gripes is like literally being able to try to get to all the students in a classroom, especially if there's like 30 plus students in a classroom. How can they really give quality time to each one of the students when there's so many of them in there, as well as parents? Like if you have like seven kids, like how do you get to really spend all that quality time with the kids, especially if, like you were saying, you're going to work and you only get home and you only see them when they're going to sleep or when they get up?
Well, you got to set a schedule, just like how you set a schedule with your life. You set a schedule with your job. You have to set a schedule at home. I mean, that's
10
just.
minutes with you, Julie. Then I'm gonna spend 5 minutes with you.
I mean, no, it seems fucked up. Yeah, it seems like, damn, son, like, you know what I mean? But the more busy you are, the less time you're gonna have for people. Unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles. You know what I'm saying? If you're really trying to reach a goal, especially if you're a business owner, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to reach a goal, the harsh reality of it, the harsh fact of the matter is, you're not even gonna have time to spend with your immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mother, father, sister, brothers, like friends you think that sister and brothers, cousins, nobody. You really got, like, you have limited to no time, even if you do have kids. You know what I'm saying? That's why, unfortunately, like Ad was saying, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to like set some type of schedule.
Yeah, with that.
It's not
I feel that's more
impossible.
In my opinion, anyway.
I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, that happened to me too. Like, you know, my mom spent a lot of time with me. Even though I was a latchkey child at a certain point. But you know, when she did come home, like she would help me with my homework, or you know, we would watch certain shows together, and you know, I was, even if it was just for an hour or two, you know, she would make sure she had some time with me.
Yeah. So no, now I mean, as we're talking about it now, I'm literally forgetting that again. The key word in that quality time is quality. So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be spending hours on end with somebody. It can literally be like a whole meaningful, like 10 minutes with the person. And it's just like,
as long as you're
that was really dope.
Like that's the most important part of it, is being present for the person, being present for the person, being attentive, you know, being front and center. You know, in order to truly engage with the other person. Hopefully, the other person is engaging with you, and they're front and center as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the time could be quality. You know. So.
And the thing is, there's certain situations like I'm about to go to fathers. You know what I'm saying? Remember. Oh, what'd you say?
No, I was reading Tiffany's comment.
Okay. After Random Thoughts, that's part of our routine. That's what's up, man. Like, I hope you and Willow sitting down watching Random Thoughts, even though Willow know good and damn well that she's too young to be watching this. You know what I'm saying? She is our youngest rando. So for you, Willow, we'll let that slide. We're still gonna cuss though, but we'll let that slide.
Emerson is the youngest.
What?
Emerson is the youngest rando.
Oh yeah, Emerson's the youngest. Yeah, my fault. Willow's next to the youngest. So.
She's in the running.
No, that's a fact.
Knowing Tiffany personally, yeah, she spends a lot of time with Willow. Like they engage with each other and talk to each other all the time, and that's a very important part of being a parent. Like just being front and center and just having conversations with your kid. You know, whether you're a parent, whether you're an aunt or an uncle or what have you, like engaging with, you know, the kids, like having, you know, talking to them, having them understand you and vice versa. You know, that's deeply important, and it's important to them. You may not think
that's
so,
a fact.
they want to have a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are some situations where, especially when it comes to mostly fathers, and I hate to be Mr. Downer, but this is just being honest.
You
There's
love being
certain
that should you wear
no,
that.
not. I mean,
Hashtag
yeah, I do.
negative
I'm not gonna.
influence.
Thank you, thank you. Hashtag the negative influence. But in this case, I really don't like speaking about this because once again, you know, like I like this part of it I know too well. There's this I like either the mother will prevent the father from seeing the
Yep.
child due to playing child support games.
Yep.
Or out of spite because he done moved on and he ain't really fucking with you like that no more, or whatever the situation may be. I'm not calling out nobody out in particular. I'm just speaking from a general term here. You know what I'm saying? There are cases where, the fathers are restricted from spending quality times with their kids, and their kids grow up to be spiteful, angry, you know what I'm saying? In some cases, wanting to kill their father or something like that, just because they ain't have that presence there. And it's not because the father did not want to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's not to get political about it, but I'll say like this. When you play in the United States judicial system, from that part of it, from the child support and just them dealing with anything involving raising your kid, then unfortunately these are the cards that you're dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a color issue. It's not black, white, Spanish, Asian. Yeah, I just read a story, y'all, yesterday about a guy in Asia. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been fake news or some shit, but the guy, he was in court and like he believed that the kids weren't his because his wife cheated on him. You know what I'm saying? And he got in trouble for not taking care of the kids. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's not just a black person problem that they don't see their kids or whatever have you. Hell, there's even parts I could go deep into the whole child support shit, but that's for another show. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact of the matter is,
Like the other guy that tried to change his pronouns so he could see his kids. What was that, Mexico
that
or
too.
something?
I forgot. Like I was about to say Canada or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it was. I think it was.
what, it was Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! That was a lucky guess. I forgot. Like
I think we briefly talked about it previously, but
Nah, they
it
were
was brought up.
Hispanic. It was a Hispanic family.
Really?
Yeah.
oh shit.
I thought it was
Okay.
another one too.
It was a
Spanish people live in Canada. Like
yeah, they are. But I don't think it was Canada. I think it was somewhere in Central America, if I'm not mistaken. Or South
okay,
America.
I think there is another story like that.
in Canada, right?
This is wild
Yeah.
in itself. But anyway.
Oh,
Um,
so no, I think you're right, Steph. The one that I was thinking of was the father who was jailed for not.
Oh
saying
yeah.
their child as a daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we did cover that on on another episode. Yeah, we covered that. That was crazy.
Misgender.
Yeah, but oh, sorry, but this.
No, what were you gonna say?
Now I was gonna say this child support. Sorry, this quality time situation runs deeper than just one of the 5 love languages because there's so many layers to quality time. Period. You know what I'm saying? Just as people in general, I feel like this when it comes to relationships. Everybody needs somebody. I hate when women, especially black women, say, "I don't need no man." I don't, and now you got other races. So the other races, not as much as black people, not as much as black women, saying that I don't need no man or I don't need a man.
You have to ask yourself why black women in particular.
Because I hear it mostly from them.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And that's
not the point. That's not the point I'm making. I'm asking you, what do you think the root cause of that is?
Part of feminist movement as well as Section 8, honestly, the civil rights era in that particular case, we got lost. And after we got lost, we decided to take up what basically white woman was trying to do with her man in particular, and then we took that on and just
black women started the let's change that, because black women started the women's movement.
I'm not in that particular.
Wait, hold on. The women's movement or the feminism movement?
The women's and feminism movement. They started with black
So
women.
you're saying black women started the feminism movement?
Yes.
Do you have any proof of this?
Yes, it's in the history books.
No,
all you gotta do is
no. I'm not coming at you crazy like that. I'm seriously asking.
Angela Davis. Now I'm talking about Angela Davis. I'm talking about Angela. Well, Angela Davis was definitely one of the pioneers of that movement.
Of the feminism movement.
Yes.
All right, I'll say this again.
Yes.
The feminism movement.
Yes. I think you're talking about the feminist movement.
Same thing.
Feminist. Not really,
yes.
but okay.
Now, if you understand what feminism
the feminist movement. Feminist movement.
Is. Feminism actually is not complementary to men. It's not. It's all about having equal rights and position to men, but it's not against men. It's making sure that men are able to practice.
The deal what it has become, that it's turned into, where
it's turned into something else. That's
The original, you're right. The original movement was to gain the rights, the equal privileges and rights as men, but then it turned into a man-hating club.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and let's be honest, that's when the white women joined.
I think that woman was always I think it was when the Gen Z and millennial white woman joined. I don't, because there were always white women involved in the feminist movement.
Oh, here we go. John Logic says Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
I just looked it up. Exactly.
Was an American writer. Oh, sorry. Elizabeth Cady Stanton was an American writer and activist who was a leader of the women's rights movement in the U.S. during the mid to late 19th century. Interesting.
No, that's
the women's suffrage movement. But that's a suffrage movement, right?
The original suffrage movement. Yes.
But I think we're talking about the second wave of feminism,
we're not talking
which
about
is
that,
the 60s.
And then the other thing is we can't dismiss people like Sojourner Truth and women like that who were also in the forefront and were at the beginning of that movement. They don't get talked about because, of course, they're black women. They're always going to try to push us to the background. Black women, Latino women, like they're always going to push us to the background and make us like second fiddle. So,
but see, here's the thing.
You gotta be mindful of who's writing history. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. We don't know who started. We weren't us four. We weren't there. You know what I'm saying?
I might have been there.
There are plenty of history.
Eric was there because he's a vampire. Exactly. He's been living for fucking eternity. Like, but otherwise,
I was like, what's going on over here? People are angry over here.
No, but what I'm saying is, yes, usually white women or white people in general usually have the financing to galvanize and like enlarge the movement or bring more. They have the finance,
the resources,
and the resources to make it a larger movement. But it usually doesn't start. It usually doesn't start with them. Let the record show, because there are plenty of history books that talk about that discuss it. Because it started with the civil rights movement, where you have situations where other marginalized groups wanted to have a larger voice in the civil rights movement, and a lot of times it was focusing on black men, and the women were feeling left out. Again, they were playing second fiddle to the men that were, you know, perceived as being in the forefront of the movement. And so because of that, these women, the women kind of branched off and started their own movement. Ed?
I'm talking prior, Steph.
Oh, okay.
I feel you when you come in here because there's like the first, second, third wave, all these other different waves. We talking about what really was originated at, and the names has been changing because then you got women's suffrage and you have women's rights, which still ends up being that during that time women were still trying to again find that point, and then it turned into a feminist movement. But all of these terms are all coinciding together. So for me, it's figuring out, okay, honestly, to be truthful with you. Like you saying that black women were heading some of that stuff, to be honest, I don't know if y'all want to claim that. Especially where it is now.
Well, no, a lot of black women are upset about where it is right now. That's the thing. They're upset about it. And I see what you're writing, Ja. Actually, that was one thing I read in when I was at the African American Museum of History and Culture. There were a lot of black women that were writing the abolitionists or helping the abolitionist movement and telling their stories, because a lot of them were being raped and sodomized and violated in so many different ways. And the abolitionists were using their stories.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, oh yeah. This episode of Random Thoughts is also not brought to you in part by Deep River potato chips.
Oh,
that's
for
it,
sure.
man.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep River, they crunchy as shit.
Nah, Deep River.
AKA what?
I said some crunchy ass.
That's a fact. A fact.
They are.
Yo,
I used to eat those all the time. They are. Woo, very good.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
But,
see, I told y'all this ain't your ordinary podcast show, man. Like we just be doing like some wild whatever the fuck you want shit. Like, but no,
the point I'm making is men should spend more quality. The men of the civil rights movement should have spent more quality time with the women of the civil rights movement. Otherwise,
you hear this bullshit.
Separate movement going on. And
here we have Stephanie Gill with this random thoughts bullshit moment. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, yo.
You guys weren't there. We felt left out. Forget you.
And this has been another presentation of this bullshit moment.
What were you guys? Eric, you were gonna say something?
Me?
Yeah,
he rose his hand.
No, I already said it. But essentially, John is putting down what I said earlier, that there have been different movements. The suffrage movement, and then I mentioned the 60s, during the counterculture. And I don't know if we're in the third or fourth movements. It might have been one in the 80s. I'm not sure.
They kept moving.
Huh? 70s.
No, 60s. We're talking about 60s and 70s when the whole second wave.
Women's rights. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the third. If there's a third and fourth, I don't know if we're in the third or fourth movement. The issue is
the 90s. The 90s.
The 90s was
it was
third,
a late. It was.
Yeah, right,
it was like it was the 90s. And I'm gonna tell you why. Shahrazad Ali. Shout out to Mrs. Shahrazad Ali, man. She wrote a book back in the day. You know what I'm talking about? That book.
It's in there. I have it in there, covered behind this. There's two of them. There's two entries of them.
Okay, can you take them shits out real quick, so we can show them?
Hold on. So I only have one. Only got one of them.
All right, show that shit, because this is the shit that jumps it off.
The issue with the now falling, it was where it no longer has to do with what's going on in terms of economic or social equality. It's more about, let's just remove men completely. And that's a problem. I feel that's a problem. Because as a man, you know what I mean? I don't subscribe to MGTOW as Young Ad does.
I do.
The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And that was a really good book.
One, and there's another one
I just
for
want to read it out of
I don't have that one.
Yeah, no, it was I think it was the black woman's guide to understand the black man. I think that was the other one.
Are there 4 books in there? In that one?
This was just this is the whole one book, but these were the other ones that are also by her. So there's the Black Woman's Guide to Understand the Black Man. Are you still a slave? The things your parents should have told you. The whole pork stuff, and then urban survival, all of that stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was that long, 60s to 80s? Okay, I thought it was like 60s to 70s. Okay.
Well, I know the 90s.
The 90s, I was right, the 90s, 2000s, and then currently in the fourth wave.
Fourth wave expands the third wave focus on intersectionality, emphasizing body positive, trans inclusivity. So,
And an open disclosure about rape culture in the social media era.
Discourse.
Oh, an open discourse. Yeah, I graduated high school. I went to college.
Use
all
the
got to high
iPad.
Barely. No,
New York schools aren't that great.
I'm blaring.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. New York City school is not that great, but I went to Westchester County for the most part of my life. But whatever.
New York schools.
Still getting hit.
New York.
He said it, not me. I tried to defend y'all.
What?
He said it, not me. What you just said, Eric? Like, yo, like New York.
Yeah, New York. It's still New York. I'm a product of New York school system myself. It wasn't that great.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Like, and when you're right. I'm just saying. Like, listen. No, but all in all, that I feel that I feel that now in this fourth wave, you know what I'm saying? Like it's no more love. It's everything is fuck love or let's fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I think it becomes transactional. I know that there's a certain degree of transaction between a relationship. When it becomes more about like commerce, you know what I mean? In terms of, then it becomes completely, when it becomes, instead of a partnership, it becomes a corporation. That's when I have problems. What's up?
Which is
I'm talking about in terms of how
marriage corporation. Yep.
No, what I'm trying to say, not necessarily the way women perceive the perception of when, let's say they became a sole proprietorship. That's what I'm trying to say. The sole proprietorship has taken over in terms of relationships, and there's no more, mergers. You know what I mean? Get what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like it's about me. I'm gonna get mine. Fuck you. You know what I mean? If you're not putting the work, or we're not seeing I don't need you anymore. So it doesn't matter. You're obsolete.
You know what it is?
It's always been the disposability of men.
I think one side where it's mostly like women are like, I want to have certain control of what I'm able to do and so on and so forth. And then on the men's side, not all men, but there are a lot of men that are like, that want that control, and this has to go this way and this has to be this way and so on and so forth. And there are women that want to break free of that kind of restraint, and that's where the butting of the heads.
I see your point. I see your point that men can be sometimes very much blinder driven in certain things. But I think that sometimes is their nature in terms of taking something and running with it and going headstrong with it. Right. I do agree with you that there needs to be some kind of middle ground, but I'm talking more of what I've seen in the media, specific social media and YouTube and whatnot, where it becomes there's no grace given at all. It's just like, oh no, this is the way it is, and this is how men are. And it's like, yo, if you want you want grace,
no, it goes same for women.
You know what I mean?
I think
you need to give both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
No. Hold on. Ad, hear me out. It goes the same for women too. And the reason why I'm saying this now is because I was watching some shit. Once again, Jeremy Hill. Shout out to Jeremy Hill, by the way, man. Gotta give him a shout out, man. I was watching on Jeremy Hill show. It was actually an episode about like lesbians and bisexuals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who's Jeremy Hill?
Jeremy Hill, he has his own show here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? No, listen, it was just one. It was one in particular episode about that. Just one. It was fun.
I don't like when straight people talk about homosexuality. It cringes me to the very core. But go ahead, talk.
Look.
What this guy says.
It's to a point where if you have not had the experience, don't speak on it. That's gonna be difficult. But I feel you, Steph.
But this guy doesn't. This guy, he's a gentleman that went rogue, man. He don't give a fuck. So you know what I'm saying? Like, but now it was this one clip where he showed that a woman cheated on another woman with a man and ended up getting pregnant by that guy. You know what I'm saying? And the AG. You know what I'm saying? She got pissed at her girlfriend, for getting knocked up by this other guy. But she was like, "Yo, I want a baby, I want family. You ain't got the tools to do it. Whoopty whoop, this, that, and third." But she was still with homegirl, using her for her little resources or whatever that she had. You know what I mean? Because she was playing the streets or whatever. She was an AG. You know what I'm saying? And like she had to do rag the whole nine, whoopty whoop. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Yo, I'm hurt. Yo, what the fuck's going on? I'm hurt. This is some bullshit." Well, you laughing because you probably seen the video, Steph. You know what I'm saying? But like the shit was that one, B.
Oh man.
I'm having a baby.
Bro, it was other ways that we should have about it. So you gonna go look, y'all. Look, son, this is why you can't be trusted. Somehow they only for you. Nah, bro.
All right. This girl with all the masculine energy is obviously the stud, the one supposed to be the man in the relationship.
Wait.
Yeah, can we play that clip?
What's that last part?
That shit was funny to me. Like
I'm listening. I heard a little bit of it. First of all, again, I don't like when
I want to finish this video.
Oh, they lying, bro. Don't believe I'm telling you, I'm telling y'all, watch out for them females that be saying they only see you. They don't see you. Emotional. I'm emotional. Nah, you know what
You ain't providing.
Wow.
We don't go out. We don't hang out.
Wow.
If somebody run up on me, you can't do nothing about it.
All right, I want to point out something.
Wow.
Everything that woman just said, the one that's pregnant said, "You're not providing, and you can't protect me if someone run up on me." What is she describing? A man. She wants masculine energy, even though she's with a woman. So you can fake that masculine energy when you claim to be a gender who identifies as something else. That's your right. Go ahead, do what you want to do.
Turn it off.
But there's nothing like the authentic masculinity that comes from a natural man who's born with a penis. It's just...
Shut up already. All right.
I knew you was gonna get pissed.
Triggered.
Oh man, what a trigger
Police
moment.
are coming for you. Triggered.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Steph. Listen to me. You my homegirl, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Nope. Because that's one story. That's one story.
But
it was a funny story. That was it.
And that's her fault for picking someone who can't protect her and provide for her. That's her fault.
The thing about this is that in this particular situation, right? In this particular situation, you have a woman who enjoys the company of woman, but really wants a man, right? Because that's what she's saying. She's saying to the woman that you don't have what I want, which is generally found in men.
Right.
And she got pregnant by a man, so obviously she enjoys men parts. Just saying.
And that's her fault. That's her fault.
I'm sorry.
That's her fault.
It is her fault. She tripped and fell on the dick. Right? She tripped and fell on the dick and couldn't get up. All right, it's her fault. Maybe don't slip. Maybe pick up things off the floor, banana peels and such. She won't slip.
I'm sorry, yo, Steph, I love you to death, man. Come on now.
Let me not talk like that over here. Let me stop.
It's even better than I'm moving on. Because I'm doing the more.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But now the question is, who's going to provide for her?
Now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. The thing ain't nothing for the son. Stop playing me. This is what you can do though. This is what you could do. You could go ahead with Tyler.
Rent is in my name. So what you gonna do? The rent is in my name.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Exactly the point.
Yeah, that's all
No money. You're not
That's crazy.
bro. Yo,
Man, how the hell
This
you
is a
got
whole
4
other
jobs and still broke? Now let me tell you
This is
something
a
else too.
messed up situation in general. Because I've not ever been, me personally, I've not ever been in a situation where it's been like, oh, the this is in your name, or the rent, the apartment's in your name, and no, I own mine down. I've always had my own. That's just me.
Have you ever moved somebody in to your spot to stay long term?
Yes.
Long term. We're talking about cohabitating, not just hanging out and staying over. Long term is like a year, 2 years. Like this person knows they live there. This is where they live. Their shit is there. They're basically understanding this is where they live, and they're gonna stay here long term.
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Yes. When I first moved into the apartment I was in
quite well
by myself,
because this woman is ready to switch.
I provided for a woman and her child when I first moved in.
But it was in your name, so you were basically doing the part of provider.
Yes. It was in my name. I was providing for them. I was protecting them. The masculine traits.
So what happened to Jeremy?
Then hold on. Now you're just making me think of a whole slew of stuff now. Now can that person that either you're with, can they be put on child support too?
Believe it or not, even though since the laws have changed dealing with gay, with the LGBTQ community, they're treated just like us. If the paperwork say that this person has 2 fathers or 2 mothers or however that's set up, whoever's the parent that makes the most is the one that gets put on child support.
So my question is this: so the situation we just saw, that person could say, you know what, I love you, even though you cheated on me. I want to have this child with you and take care of it. Down the line, some issue happens. And she goes, I don't want to be with you anymore. That person would have to pay child support at that point once they leave.
Contingent if that person's name is on the birth certificate.
That's what I'm saying. They say they pick. I want to be with you. I want to have the child with you. Put their name on and become that parent. That's what I'm asking.
Eric, the only reason why I keep pointing out name on the birth certificate is because you can sit there and do whatever the fuck you want. If that person's name is not on the birth certificate as the second parent, ain't shit you can do about it.
I will say this now.
And now in some states, niggas get locked up for cats get locked up for not taking care of a kid that's not theirs. Let's just say, for instance, a woman could just sit there and say, "Oh, I had sex with him at this time. He's the father of the child," knowing damn well he's not the father of the child. He wasn't with you even around that time. You got with him during the time you got pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And both of y'all knew. Either one of y'all or both of y'all knew it. I'm telling you, they catching motherfuckers left and right off this shit. Cats is going to jail over the fact that this kid is not theirs, that kid ain't theirs, or whatever. Child support is a very complex situation statewide. But I can only speak for New York City, the state of New York, when I say that in order for that person to take the other person's child support, they have to. Both the names have to be on the birth certificate, and one of the mommies or the daddies or whatever. One has to make more than the other because everything's contingent on.
For 4 years, y'all see this, bro? I'm good. How about this? And matter of fact, that's why I wear that little stuff like that. Now I see.
What?
Okay. Check. Understood. What you doing? That's who I am. you talking about?
Bringing up.
Listen. I'm good.
Why Captain Crunch had get him?
That's all you worried about?
I'm not gonna tell you anything first and foremost.
Why not? Why wouldn't you tell me?
I mean, not
Aren't you
right
my
now.
girl,
It's none of your business right now.
Wow, bro.
It's
4 years.
Right
So
now.
4 years isn't my business. I would think it
4
is.
years of
Bro, stop playing with me.
Time.
Stop playing with
I
me,
get
son.
you. But
Stop playing with me.
I'm moving on.
So this whole time, your homeboy that you
What a
claim,
joke.
that's just your homeboy. You brought me something back, son.
I mean, first and foremost,
Obviously.
it's even if it is new. I decided I wanted to get pregnant. Thank you
Hey,
about him.
got that when I got to your man.
Girl.
Donna.
Young girl stuff.
That ain't what.
He's giving me more.
Bro.
We
Wow.
hanging out.
Give
We
you
got
more what? That's what? Hey, go ahead, son. Go ahead, bro. Keep that. You ain't bro.
man.
Be with your homeboy.
And that's one situation. That's not every situation that goes on.
You understand that stuff. We're watching that situation. We're not taking every situation.
But Eric,
that's a mess situation.
Eric, to partially answer your question, everything's contingent on who's like in both names of birth certificate and who makes the higher pay. You know what I'm saying? Who like Tyler gave up quality time.
He gave her a lot of quality time, apparently.
Tyler gave her quality time. Yeah, he gave her a lot of quality time. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of it. Mm-hmm. Oh my, Willow's my kid. I don't care. My name is on her birth certificate. So what I'm saying, Tiffany, is that's a mess. No, what I'm trying to say, Tiffany, let's just say you and your girlfriend, whoever your girlfriend was when Willow was conceived. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say both of y'all agreed to have your name on the birth certificate as both parents. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say your girlfriend made more than you. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, everything with child support is contingent on who makes the most money. It's based on salary. Who makes the more salary?
In the state of New York.
In the state of New York, but like you said, there are the state of New York and some other states too. You know what I'm saying? Because all this is about to change slowly but surely. Lyrics, we get what you're saying.
Is your favorite one of your favorite?
But see how important quality time is. I'm gonna say to the stud. The stud didn't spend enough quality time with her girlfriend in 4 years.
She didn't give enough quality time to her.
Tyler made up for that quality time with some quality D as well.
Tyler had
you talk about
that quality time. Tyrone Jermaine. What is his name? Jeremy. I think his name was Jeremy.
Jeremy.
His name was Jeremy, and he had his quality time was extensive.
And I'm gonna say this one more time. I cannot stand, especially with black men, I cannot stand when heterosexual men talk about homosexual situations. You do not understand the totality of being a homosexual, living in this body, dealing with the biological aspects of it. Because I'm sure if he saw me, we'd have a lot to talk about.
You know what? I think I'm gonna try to get Jeremy Hill as a host. I'm gonna try to get Jeremy Hill as a host. I mean, co-host. No, sorry, guest. I'm gonna get him as a guest. I'm gonna try to get Jeremy Hill. Jeremy Hill, if I'm telling you that, if some reason come across this particular episode, if anybody know Jeremy Hill, Mr. Jeremy Hill, if you come across this particular episode, I would love for you to be a guest on season 5. So we can have a debate about this. I'm dead serious.
Exactly. No, exactly.
So gay people not to talk on straight relationships.
Yeah.
I don't talk on straight relationships.
No, not you. But there are LGBTQ members that do talk on straight relationships.
Yeah, there are.
And they be like, well, yes, they. It's like, oh, you straight people this, you straight people that, you straight people should, you straight people should.
Cisgenders.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I do. That grinds my gears.
Means you're.
I know what it means. I know what it means. It's something made up. All right, I don't appreciate it.
Everything.
Derogatory term to heterosexual people.
I'm still gonna say the same thing.
And chopped cheese.
When men can't speak on women's issues, and women should be speaking on men's issues. If that's the case,
everybody can't speak on them. We all live in different bubbles.
And guess what? Vegans can't speak on chopped cheese neither. Shut the fuck up about chopped cheese.
My thing is get more informed on what we are, how we move about in this society. That's where I stand.
That's what we are. We are all a jumbled mess. That's what we are.
We are a jumbled mess.
That's a fact. We damn sure are a jumbled mess.
And that's why we need quality. That's why we need quality time with each other. We need to understand how we all work. We need to understand.
Is this the final episode of quality of the 5 love languages?
I didn't think it was already the 5th one of it, but yeah, this is the 5th one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 5th one. It's the 5th one. Like, the problem is that there is no need to air out dirty laundry on social media because this is what creates stereotypes and misinformation and misconceptions.
True.
Interesting, Mr. RJC78. Yeah, it is. But guess what? It makes for great quality motherfucking entertainment, especially when you on the train or you on the motherfucking bus. Or all that, and it sparks up conversations. You know what I'm saying? And especially,
in other words, lyrics enjoy the fuckery.
Yep.
Yes. He's the negative influence, after all.
Yep.
So, oh my god. But I will
yeah.
Wow. Oh shit.
I will say this though. I was watching the segment on on CBS Sunday morning, and they were talking about like trans kids in this country. There are a lot of kids that are transitioning to other sexes.
Yeah.
And they were basically talking about it from the parents' perspective, and they were asking them about their experience. And a lot of times I know there are a lot of people that are like, oh, against, kids don't know themselves when they're young. I disagree. I knew myself. I knew I was queer. I knew I was different. Let's put it that way. I knew I was.
But Steph, most kids aren't like you.
Let me finish.
All right. Let's finish.
I'm using myself as an example. Not speaking for all kids. I knew my identity when I was like 4 years old. I knew I was different. I knew I liked girls from the start. As soon as I was conscious and I knew other kids existed, it was the girls that I honed into. I've known that I know a lot of other queer people that had similar experiences, like especially like studs and AGs. They knew about themselves very early, 3, 4, 5 years old. They knew what they liked. And then you have folks like even Zaya Wade, Dwayne Wade's daughter, that knew herself at a very young age, and she wrote a letter to Dwayne Wade about it. And that's what prompted Dwayne and Gabrielle Union to make the decisions they made. And
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwayne Wade, you going too fucking far, dog. That is a male.
Don't even bring that dude
way up, yo.
He got again. So, Seth, this is my thoughts to you.
They don't have shit figured out yet.
Okay, get Bootsy out of here.
A woman, anything at 16,
He said
and fall in love.
Bootsy.
But it's
What's his name?
How you gonna?
I don't know his name.
Bootsy,
whatever his name is.
Don't even bring that dude up when you let.
Anyway,
bro,
so my question, my thing is this: it is different from you, and this is why I completely. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought we were done because then what his name came on the screen.
No, the point I'm making is, even in the segment, when the parents, listen to their child, and I'm speaking on quality time. As well. When they spoke to their child, had a conversation with them, really honed into how they felt, and realized that this kid was serious. Like, this is how I feel. I know this is who I am. And they went through the process of, going through the transition with the child. The child was exponentially happier when they made the transition. Like, and there's study after study after study of kids being happier once they go through the transition. When you're a parent and you don't listen to your child, because kids have feelings, they pay attention to the world, they are very observant of the environment around them. Kids are not dumb, and that's the problem.
No, I agree with you on that. I do agree with you.
There are a lot of parents that don't listen to their kids. You're
right.
At least that's why you have an uptick in suicide rates or kids attempting suicide, because you have parents that don't listen to their kids.
Oh, that part for sure.
Okay,
that part, I feel you on that part.
I have to say on this.
Statistically, all of this is
statistically sure, but also statistically an uptick of people who transitioned when they were children and regretted it, and that's a big problem. And there's a big problem actually ticking up in this country, in Canada, and other countries in the world, in like Europe, and there's so much. The problem is this: I have no problem with. There's a big difference in saying, listen, mom and dad, I am attracted to the opposite sex. I mean, the same sex. That's one thing. But another thing is say, I want to change physically my body, give myself hormones that potentially have repercussions in me in adulthood. Right now, as a 12-year-old. Right. I think if the child wants to transition at some point when they're adults, that's their choice. What's going on? It was cut off.
Yeah, that's
what? Why is there a penis? What the fuck was that? Why are we watching this?
We're about to get another strike.
I just realized why he showed that. Anyway, so that's my point. I want to finish one thing. That's just my point. Like, if a child is going to transition, a person reading with transition when they're adult and they can make the choices, they can make those choices. A child's 11 and 12-year-old with things that are going to affect them. The drugs are going to affect them. There's repercussions later on. There's numerous studies that keep showing specifically. And there's a difference even between the females who turned into who are transitioning into male versus male who transitioned to woman. Because there's one thing you can't go back on. What he just showed. Once it's gone, it's gone, my dude.
This is what I'm saying to you.
Oh yes. What the fuck is?
There's certain states that regulate it. That's if you start like the testosterone or estrogen.
Oh no, kid. The bomba clad fuck. What I do?
Can I thought. Dang! Look.
Hey, my boy, I didn't show that shit.
Where is that from?
Let me finish.
I don't want to know.
This is stuff I know because I know kids that have transitioned. There are certain states that regulate how they transition. Like, instead of putting them on estrogen and testosterone like right away, they'll put them on hormone blockers, because hormone blockers are actually reversible. And
but the problem with hormone blockers, they do have repercussions from the hormone blockers as well.
They start at a certain age. Some of them don't start early. Some of them start as, like, I know in North Carolina, they start maybe around, I think it's 13. They start the hormone blockers. And then once they get to a certain age, I believe it's maybe 17. If the child still wants to transition fully, then they'll start the hormone treatments.
Yeah, honestly, I hear you.
I think that's a responsible way of doing it if you're going to go down that road.
I hear you, Steph. My only thing is I'm just still thinking about just biologically wise and how we even talked about, like, even this is the psychology part of how some people are still acting like kids when they've been adults. And what I'm trying to get at is messing with that process creates that stunted growth in my mind, in my head. And the reason why I'm saying that is, especially between 12 and 13, when you hitting puberty, like, that's huge. Like, all of those necessary different hormones and things that's going on there, that's very important. And and again, this is my case. If you decide to, like, right now, we're gonna put that on a hold and a pause, I don't know how. Again, I'm really thinking about how much that's gonna have, again, not only affect mentally but holistically. Because then after that, the body has to figure out how to transition all of those different hormones and pieces into places where it needs to go, and it might go into the wrong places. And to me, it just becomes more of a detriment in that sense versus really like helping to that's just at least how I'm looking at it. I can see how it can work for certain people, but the problem is we looking at it in a general sense, and we talked about all the different statistics. So I mean, it's gonna go day in and day out with this, but I would love to see more long-term studies.
Josh said here, what is it? The brain finishes developing and maturing in the mid to late 20s. The part of the brain, the part of the brain behind the forehead called the prefrontal cortex, which is called the prefrontal cortex, is one of the last parts of to mature. Is one of the last parts to mature. You know what? Fuck all of y'all. All right, except for Eric, because he ain't made no jokes. Fuck both y'all. All right.
Last thing I want to say though, blockers are a relatively new thing.
Yes.
Though they do tests, we're not going to see the effects of anything such as in the next 30 years. Then we're going to see these children who have blockers, how they've and long-term blockers, how they're in the future are like, you know what I mean? Like how they're going to be able to deal with society, or like how they're going to function. Because like Ad said, whatever you put in your body affects you, right? So you blocking your hormones that are naturally occurring. Let's say you do it for 3 years and you say, no, I no longer want to do the blockers anymore. I think I'm okay in my body, but I still whatever. I feel I'm a woman, but I'm not going to do the blockers. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We don't know 30 years from now, 20 years from now, then those effects of their body, how that's going to affect them, or vice versa. What if the person want to continue to go through with transition? How all these things at a young child, because there are in this country, there are situations where they're transitioning young kids, and I'm totally against that. I don't agree with that at all. I think a child should not be doing transitioning to their adult. When they hit adulthood, go for it. You got it. That you're adult. You have the decision to make because you're adult, not a child.
I'm gonna speak.
I'm gonna speak because I know kids that have actually transitioned and they are thriving right now. Thriving. But
Steph, you're talking about one or few, and we're talking about we're talking about a lot. We're talking about uptake of people. I'm talking about research where it's happening a lot. And we don't know what the effects. We're talking about the safety of children in terms of their health.
You can say the same thing about women that are taking pills to block their menstrual cycle.
And I agree with you. Everything you put in your body affects you. Everything you put in your body. And the same thing, we don't know 30 years from now how those people who are taking those drugs, how their body's going to start reacting. Because we don't, as we all know, humanity, we are constantly evolving and changing. For something that doesn't affect us now will affect us in the future. You know what I mean? As a whole or as individuals.
Those are the risks people take. You can say it for people that have menstrual cycles. You can say it for people that take birth control. The list goes on and on.
Your sexuality. Harm blockers, it's a cosmetic procedure.
There's risk. You take medication,
but the children shouldn't be able to take that risk because that's why you as adult of their parents, they protect them.
And a lot of birth control is problematic too.
Yes, yes.
But but you
with quality time.
Wait. Let's wait against someone who is a kid who is suicidal, who could take their lives at an early age, as opposed to going through this treatment with their parent and having having more life to live.
Okay, Steph. So what if this person who's suicidal, they're a suicidal person, and they don't understand why they're suicidal? They feel this is what's making me sad, and it goes deeper. And they do this. They go to the blockers. Say, you know what? I want to transition. They go transition, and then they're even way off. That's what I'm saying. Let them become an adult, make decisions an adult makes. Because as a child, you're not developed enough.
So the whole right now, from what I'm hearing, is short term versus long term at this point. In the short term,
just about.
You might feel. I mean, again, you might feel, or this is what you need to do necessarily right now in the short term, but we don't know how it will be long term. Because I know there's people who are doing that, and they're literally, again, like Steph is saying,
that's part of the process.
They're doing so much. I think part of it too is because
I agree with y'all logic. I'm sorry. I'm saying like maybe they do need.
But y'all need to understand that's part of
They
the
need therapy.
through therapy.
But
too.
it's not foolproof. The problem is that the system is failing these children. Yeah, but we're talking children. We're talking about children who can't make their own decisions. I remember as a child, and I was a pretty intelligent child, and I did some fucking stupid shit.
So did I.
Well,
So
to my
did I.
20s. So imagine these kids who are
Hell,
intelligent.
even past my 20s, and into my 30s, I did some stupid shit. Like matter of fact, I'll be 43 in August, and I still do stupid shit, but not as stupid as it was back in the 20s and 30s.
I'm not saying to be disrespectful. I'm not saying what they want is stupid. I'm saying the decisions they make are sometimes based on momentary, like, you know how kids, they want something and they want it. Imagine something in a bigger sense of like, I want this because it'll make me feel better, but they don't really understand. They're not thinking through what's going to affect them in the future. If I do this, this is going to give me this, and this is going to do this, and then okay, now I no longer want to be this.
That's why you have the conversation.
Eric,
that's why you have the conversation.
But conversations don't mean nothing because hold
on. Eric, Steph.
Go ahead.
Eric, Steph, sorry to cut you guys off, but it actually leads back to what I was saying before about quality time, especially with the people that you spend with outside of your home. You know what I'm saying? Outside of parenting. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many times we say, be there for your kids, be there for your kids, be there for your kids. Josh said, if I would have got the tattoos I wanted as a teen, I'd be tight right now. When I take a shower, LOL. Yo, me too. Me too. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, that shit stretches out and all that. Anyway, so like I was saying, right? Seriously, all jokes aside, this is when it goes back to what I was saying when Skyzoo Moms was saying longer money. You can take you can control what goes on in your home, but you can't control outside. When you step outside your home, your comfort zone, your area of protection, guess what? You have to learn from your parents the good sense of how to protect yourself in a world that don't give a fuck about a popular opinion. You know what I'm saying? When you sit there and you befriend ABC or XYZ, you're going to follow ABC, XYZ because all the friends that you meet, all the enemies that you meet, believe it or not, are a reflection of you. And now I'm speaking from a psychological perspective. They are all a reflection of who you are as a person in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Well, what's up, Ad?
So no, to add to your point, but then also I'm a also go against the thought that even Skyzoo said too.
Okay.
That's why you, Steph, and like from other places we've been talking about, it's important that the parenting starts there, because that's why some of the kids is also feeling suicidal the way that they are, is because the parents don't understand, or the people initially around them is not really supportive. So I get that. I get that's a part of that too. The other thing too is, yes, I'm gonna be a stickler. I'm gonna be a stickler for that phrase, because technically you don't have control of what goes on in your household, especially if you're the child. Or even if you are the parent, your child can still decide to do something, even if you teach them right from wrong. But I get what you mean, as in facilitate.
No, that's why I was trying to go.
Okay.
In a sense, like your parents, like, because hey, I love my dad to death. I love my dad to death, man. I would never speak ill of my father, but it was certain things that my pops wanted me to do that I was already far gone from. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent the first 9.5 with my mother, and then with my dad, but then I tried to explain to my father, you know what I'm saying, growing up, like, yo, I think I'm already this person because of the heinous craziness that I've seen on this side. You know what I'm saying? But then coming to you and making the transition, it's kind of harder to do such because of the simple fact I was already exposed to all this other crazy shit here. For those who know East 156, between Kelly and Beck, that's really across the Bruckner from Hunts Point. Everybody and they fucking grandmama, every pimp, player, hustler knows what Hunts Point was back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Before the cops really shut it down like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, every construction worker that worked around there know what the fuck Hunts Point was. You dig? Hell, everybody in all 5 boroughs, though, damn near the whole world, like the whole United States, they know what Hunts Point was. You dig? So growing up around there and seeing that shit, literally across the Brooklyn from where I was at, and seeing all the crazy heinous shit, you know what I'm saying? That I was trying to tell my pops, like, yo, I was exposed to this, but you know, he wasn't listening to that on that level. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right, yo, listen, you know, he always used to believe in the kids are to be seen and not heard type thing. You know what I'm saying? Not being, like I said, not being against my father, but he was raised differently. He was raised in a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that, you know, another thing within the hood, there wasn't that many fathers. You know what I'm saying? My father was one of the few fathers that actually was there. You know what I'm saying? In the hood. You know what I'm saying? And we already, if you're from the hood, you already know that story. You know what I'm saying? So for my friends to hear that I had a father, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, where you got a pops? You know what I'm saying? And for them not to even know whether they had a father or where their father was, that shit was heart crushing to me, because 99% of my friends that I had back in the day, they didn't know if their father even existed. They didn't even know they had a father. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can highly sympathize with those people that grew up without their father. You dig? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot more to my story than just what I'm telling you, but I'm just trying to make a point here that when it comes to the quality time, you know, like I said, you got to be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? Because, and be mindful of how you spend that quality time with your kids, like for those parents. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're married, separated, divorced, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just shacking up for the moment and y'all having kids, y'all not married, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm telling you, the outside influence, like you were saying, like Steph, like if the kid, like if a boy wants to become a woman wants to become a boy, that's influenced through their friends. Believe it or not. No, not all the time. Listen to me. Listen to me.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with that.
No, not all the time.
And now, but you're treating it as it is.
Wow.
Something that happens all the time. It isn't something that.
But you cut me off. Like they chopped the pee and okay, cool. Like,
okay, this is too much. This is too much.
Oh no.
That's way too much. We're gonna get banned. Like, what was that called? Strike? Whatever.
I hope we don't. I really hope. Please do not strike us. Do not demonetize us or whatever have you. I think Advis is coming back. Yeah, Advis said he's gonna be right back. No, but Steph, I feel what you were saying throughout everything you were saying. Like, I get what you're saying, and I'm not trying to say I don't. I really do. What you're saying is there's some kids that can make that want to make that choice for themselves, and when their parents don't hear, because you got to understand, man. Like with parents, our parents of our generation, even before that, they were grown up under certain rules and regulations, mostly to be seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? Like the older heads be like, yo, kids are to be seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as fucked up as it may sound, that's what they learn from their parents. So they can only teach us for what they learn from their parents or for what they learn from their society. You understand what I'm saying, Steph?
I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the mind of a child. I knew, even at my young age, I knew who I was already.
But Steph,
that's you, Stephanie.
From transitioning, it's a bigger.
I'm using myself as one example. I'm just saying that there are other kids out there with similar stories.
A small percentage of kids.
Huh?
A small percentage.
So my question is this: what's the difference if they're 13 to 21? They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, right? So what's the difference of making a change? Something that potentially they can wait that time. Say, you know what? I really want to do this, and this is the life I want to live, and live that life. Why are we rushing these kids, or why is the society allowing some of the children to transition at an age when their brains aren't fully developed?
Again, I'm saying this again, and this is There are people with similar stories that just know who they are. They know what they like.
Okay, but we can't differentiate one kid from other who know they are. We have to kind of say these are kids. We can't just say, oh, this person knows and this person don't know.
The point I'm making. Sorry, I'm saying the person. The point I'm making is parents need to have those conversations with those kids. And there are a lot of parents that are beginning to have that conversation with their kids, and it's leading to, in a lot of cases, it's leading to the kid thriving and doing much better, even when they're interacting with other kids outside of their home. Like when they go to school and they explain to the kids, like, hey, I was once Chad, I transitioned to Maria, and they explain it to the kids, they thrive so much better in those environments because that conversation now becomes a larger conversation because there are more people involved. And once you have that conversation and people begin to understand what's happening, then your space, you function better in that space. And you can function better with those people. People begin to understand who you are. That conversation continues to happen. And
you definitely could have those conversations and allow them to be, presenting as who they are. But what my question is, the concept of rushing to transition physically is my problem.
Okay, listen. We only got a limited amount of times, guys. Final thoughts. Steph, if a man transitions to a woman and she marries a man, is she gay?
Oh,
wow. No, that actually is an interesting question. Like, if a man transitions to a woman and then marries a man, I think that's gay. Like, ain't it? Like, it is homosexual.
Final thoughts for quality time.
Oh shit! Yes. Now we head into final thoughts for quality time. Eric, we will start with you. Final thoughts on quality time. Let's go.
Quality time. Yeah, man. Do it. Give people quality time. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll read this from Mr. Jones 169. Just like in that show Star, when they had the episode of Queen Latifah transgender daughter was with Pastor Tyrese, that she was in their living room trying to get the sins out of her.
What?
Yo, I remember that episode too. So I stopped watching Star after a while. No,
I forgot the dude's name, but the same producer of Empire, basically.
Yeah. Like,
would they have an exorcism or something? Exorcism.
Yeah. Let's call it that. Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it exorcism. Let's call it that. We're gonna call it that.
It goes back to that whatever.
So, Steph, final thoughts.
I said, I think of all the 5 love languages, I believe quality time, not to be biased, quality time is the most important of the 5 because you cannot have the other ones come into play without quality time being there as playing a supporting role. One might take the forefront, but quality time will always be a supporting cast member with that. But I think it's, as we discussed in this broad conversation, because we kind of ran the gamut. It is very important to spend time with your loved ones, really understand what they're going through, listen to them, cultivate, that understanding and deepen that relationship with them, because there'll be times where they'll need you and vice versa. And I think that having that understanding will help them get through tough situations and hard times in the long run, and it will lead to them thriving and being able to function in society as a whole. So I think having that understanding and being there and being present for the people that you love is tantamount. So that's my final thought.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Advis, final thoughts. Quality time.
I echo Steph's sentiments, and that's why you have to be mindful too of the word quality, and not always necessarily stressing about how much time you're spending with the person, but basically of how much quality either you or the other person is getting from it, as well as it's important to still just keep building that relationship, which is basically how you relate with the other person or other people. Because when y'all are not on the same page or all in different books, there becomes so many misunderstandings, misconceptions, and content like how we were watching throughout this whole thing happens to just surface just because. But definitely is my number one too. Is top. Without time, if you don't put time into anything, not much will grow or prosper. So it is a very important one, and take your time to get to know and be present.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, guys. I'm not gonna do much of a final thought. No, Eric did his. Eric was like, just do it. So,
all right, Nike.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's give it up for Famous Ramos, the vampire from Brooklyn, for that. Like this motherfucker. But anyway, listen, I'm not gonna do much of a final thought. What I'm gonna do is RIP shout outs, because that's my final thought. And these are people that I wish I spent more quality time with. You know what I'm saying? So RIP my stepbrother, Vincent. RIP my nigga Leftist. Definitely RIP, like I said, to my brother Fathom None. RIP to the sis Yuma. RIP Little P. You know what I'm saying? RIP my cousin Wayne. RIP to my mother. Definitely my mother, man. Even though it's Father's Day, RIP to my mother, man. RIP to my Aunt Joyce. There's a longer list, man. RIP to PH. RIP to Rob De Niro. J Arch. Definitely Sean Price, man. RIP to Sean Price, man.
Sean Price.
Yes. Helter Skelter.
Let me add someone in there. RIP to my cousin Alfred Michael Martin. His birthday was earlier this month too. He would have been, I believe he would have been 75 this year. And no, I'm sorry, he would have been 76 this year. Yeah, his birthday was June 4th, and unfortunately, he was one of the first people I knew that passed away from COVID. And I'm speaking of quality time. Had it not been for my mom bringing us back together, I wouldn't have seen him 3 weeks before he passed away. And that means the most to me. So I just wanted to throw him in there. Rest in peace.
Yes, definitely. Rest in peace to your cousin, right? Your cousin Alfred? Yeah, rest in peace to him. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Goes out to one of the most important producers, man. I forgot to mention him, man. He's the reason why I really got into hip hop. I mean, don't get me wrong, Premier, Pete Rock, High Tech, all of them, they still greats within their right, man. But to me, this guy right here, Jay Dilla, you know what I'm saying, man? I definitely, man, he influenced a lot of producers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, rest in peace, definitely to Jay Dilla. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm doing these RIPs, and there's many more. If I forgot your names, please forgive me. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's a long list for me, man, because there's a lot of cats I know that are no longer here with us. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm doing this RIP,
Like, a lot of them were fathers too.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact, man. And my heart definitely goes out to their loved ones as well. lost time is never found again. Benjamin Franklin. Thank you. Like you're right. You know what I'm saying? And when the reason why I give this RIPs because I think I shared with you guys. Like my mother always used to say, she's like, "Yo, you gonna regret the day that I'm gone." You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I used to act up a lot as a kid. So she was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna have nobody to act up like this. When I'm gone, like there ain't no or something like, oh, there ain't no mama stores. You just can't pick out my replacement once I'm gone or no shit like that." You know what I'm saying? And like she always say like some crazy analogies, man, but it didn't hit until she was gone. You dig? And one day I woke up and I remember, I think this was like a week after she passed or whatever. I went to call her and like, you know how you just call somebody and you don't think they gone, but it's like, oh shit, like they're no longer there. You know what I'm saying? And you catch yourselves in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I did it with my Aunt Joyce. You know what I'm saying? I did it with Fathom. I didn't even, but like when the news got to me that Fathom was gone, I couldn't believe it. I was stuck. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, people's deaths, they like, John said, RP to all our loved ones who've transitioned, no pun intended, I say. Yeah, man, like, I know what he means by he says transitioned. Come on now.
Yes,
nah,
but it's just it's just the time.
Gotta be a goof.
It's crazy, yeah, man. But like I said, the reason why I do the RIPs is because that's a part of quality time, man. Like, yo, I miss quality time with some of these people that I personally knew, and I wish, yo, dog, I swear, I give all my money in my pocket just to have 5 minutes with them. I mean, really to bring them back, but if I only have 5 minutes and I had to give everything I had, I would just for those 5 minutes, man. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a lot more people, you know what I'm saying? But due to the time, you know what I'm saying, there's just those people. But, happy Father's Day to my father, Raymond Shinnery Sr. Love you, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call you in a bit. You know what I'm saying? He's in Savannah, Georgia with my family. Shout out to my sister, Sabrina. My brother-in-law, Calvin. Happy Father's Day. All my nieces and nephews, man. My nephew, Cameron, man, like I think he's like 18 right now. He's a father. You know what I'm saying? I think his daughter's 1 year or a year old, man. Yo, happy Father's Day, Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to Quenisha's husband. You know what I'm saying? My niece Quenisha, her husband. Happy Father's Day to you. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to all of y'all, man. And this does it for another episode of Random Thoughts. Please tune in next week for our season 4 finale, the prison industrial complex system. That one is going to be crazy. Hopefully, my special guest is going to be my cousin Juan. You know what I'm saying? I talk about him, so next week y'all get to see him. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a very, very interesting episode. Very informative, extremely informative. So, I mean, let me just be straight up. For those who ever went to prison, y'all got prison stories, anything like that, holla at us, man. Like, yo, we'll be more than happy to have you guys. We'll be more than happy to have you guys on here, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see you next week. You know what I'm saying, man? So definitely for Famous Ramos, the vampire from Brooklyn, Young Adviz, ADV in the spot, and Stephanie Gale. This is your boy, the LYR to the ICS lyrics, signing off. Peace. Oh, happy Father's Day to Shinobi too, man. Can't forget Shinobi.
Happy Father's Day, Shinobi.
Yeah.
Stop throwing that clip.
Yo. And some